We need to sometimes change our attitude we have for a dua. And I love probably the best attitude out there was the way Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu anhu worded it. He said, أنا لا أحمل هم الإجابة ولكن أحمل هم الدعاء. He said, I don't carry a concern for whether Allah accepts my dua or not. I don't care about this because Allah Azza wa Jal has already guaranteed that He answers and He responds the way He sees befitting. I carry the worry and the concern of making the dua. That's the concern and the worry that you and I should have, is making the dua. Don't worry about its response. Allah heard you. And Allah gives you according to how He sees befitting for you. Shuf, a dua is not like Uber Eats. Uber Eats, you get your app, you make your order, you send it through. And you expect what you ordered to come on the door. If it doesn't, you get angry, you get upset. I didn't order this. Why now I want a refund? Well, you call and you make your complaints, no problems. A dua is not like that. A dua is not, I didn't ask for this, Ya Rabb, where is what I asked for? It doesn't work like that. A dua, as I said to you, a relationship with Allah. It's a worship, a worship. Every time you call unto Allah, you earned a lot of reward. You earned the pleasure of Allah. Allah wants to hear from you. Keep going, more and more. What do you expect? Expect all good from Allah. Expect good. Don't expect what you asked. Do you know what's good for you? Like, you know, one of the dua is, Allahumma inni as'aluka min al-khayri kullih. Oh Allah, I ask you from all forms of goodness. And why are you asking Allah that if you knew what was good for yourself? So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam used to make this dua. Why is he asking Allah for all goodness if he knows what's good for himself? The dua itself is teaching you that you don't know what's good for you. So ask it from Allah Azza wa Jalla and then put your trust in Allah and whatever comes is good. Naam. Ya Hayyu, Ya Qayyum, bi rahmatika astaghith. Now Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam teaches us to practice the worship of Al-Istighatha. Al-Istighatha bi rahmatik. Through your mercy alone I seek help and assistance and aid. What is Al-Istighatha? Have you ever heard of the worship Al-Istighatha in your life? Al-Istighatha is one of the highest types of dua when asking and begging Allah Azza wa Jal. Al-Istighatha, it's called. Al-Istighatha is talabul ghawf. Al-Istighatha means to seek relief and help and aid and assistance and support from Allah Azza wa Jal, that He save you from evil and calamity and fitan and sin and fasad and corruption that is around you. That's what Al-Istighatha is. It comes from the word ghawth and ghayth. Ghayth means rain. But I want you to imagine a group of people stuck in the desert. All their livestock and their crop is in the desert. And there is absolute not a drop of rain that has come down for the last month or two. And they are literally about to die, them and their crops and their livestock, if no water comes down. So they begin to ask Allah for rain. What is the state of people that know they are living their final hours on life if water doesn't come down from the sky right now? What is their state when they're making dua? This is the most sincere of dua that comes from the heart. The most sincere type of dua. When the rain comes down, that rain is called ghayth. So Al-Istighatha is like that. When you are in an absolute desperate situation, you are covered and immersed in danger. That if Allah's mercy is not bestowed and showered upon you at that very moment, you are doomed and destroyed forever. This is the worship of Al-Istighatha. I ask and I implore and I beg Allah Azza wa Jal through His mercy that He save you from the evil and the corruption. And how important is this dua, especially in this day and age that we are living in, brothers and sisters in Islam. And I want to take you to a moment in the life of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in how he practiced Al-Istighatha, so you can understand. Brothers and sisters in Islam, there are things that just don't have a solution. There are things that just don't have any solution on earth whatsoever. Wallah, nothing at all. Zero. No one can do anything for you. Nothing can do anything for you. The only solution is above Allah Azza wa Jalla and no one else. And I tell you something. Today, of course, we observe the situation globally. And we see hundreds and hundreds of videos from our brothers and sisters in Gaza. May Allah Azza wa Jal bless them and give them aid and victory and support. But literally you come to a point where you say, Wallah, what is the solution? What is the solution for these oppressed people? Ya Ammi, there is no solution. There's nothing on earth that is of solution. Every court has failed. Every justice system has failed. Every human being has failed. Every power and whatever it is people can bring together has all failed. Nothing has worked. Did you and I think of Al-Istighatha in this moment or not? The solution lies in Al-Istighatha. I take you to a moment in a seerah. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam is out on the Battle of Badr, ready to face the disbelievers for the first battle ever, major battle in Islam. Situation was desperate, it was difficult. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam only has 314 companions with him, and they're not even ready for war. They don't have their proper weapons, they don't have their proper swords, their arrows are not even sharpened because they didn't expect this battle altogether. They didn't have the finest of fighters with them. They just, all of a sudden Allah wants a war to happen. 1,000 of the enemy of Allah is coming towards them, well equipped, trained with the best of their swords, backup, everything you need for a war, they have it. Many horses and so on. The Sahaba, they had one horse with them. One horse. What are you going to do? There's no backup. Wait, who are you going to call here? Mafi backup that's coming from Al-Madinah. No special army is coming. Nothing is coming. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam arrives the night before. So then, what does he do? Abdullah bin Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu, he says, by Allah, I did not hear anyone seeking anything more intense than what the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam was seeking from his Lord on the day of Badr. He faced the Qibla. He raised his hand. When we're making dua, we have three ways. You either do this, ud'u Allah bi akuffi butunikum, like this, or like this. And there's one more common, and that's like this. Well, that's Al-Istighatha right up here. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam that night, he would raise his hand facing the Qibla the whole night. فَجَعَلَ يَهْتِفْ, he would say, Oh Allah, fulfill what you have promised me. Oh Allah, grant me what you have promised me. He would say, Oh Allah, we are a group of Muslims. If we are destroyed today, you will never be worshipped on earth ever again. These are the Muslims here. If they're gone, then Islam is finished. And he would continue the entire night to the point where the cloak he was wearing fell off his shoulder. That's how high his hand was up in the sky. Abu Bakr radiyallahu anhu comes from behind, takes the cloak down from the ground, and he puts it on the shoulder of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And he said, Ya Nabi Allah, kafaka munashadatuka rabbak. He said, Messenger of Allah, this dua is enough, and Allah will grant you what He has promised you. You see this situation? Allah, when He spoke about it in the Quran, He said what? إِذْ تَسْتَغِيثُونَ رَبَّكُمْ. When you were seeking istighatha from your Lord, when you were seeking Allah's help and aid and support, what was the result? فَاسْتَجَابَ لَكُمْ. He answered you. أَنِّي مُمِدُّكُمْ بِأَلْفٍ مِّنَ الْمَلَائِكَةِ مُسَوِّمِينَ. I will send you 1,000 angels in support. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, brothers and sisters in Islam. Wallahi, sometimes there is no worldly solution at all. When the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam was making this dua, he knew we don't have the best weapons, we don't have horses, no backup is coming, we absolutely have nothing. 0, 0, 0 on earth. There's no solution from there. Bas, that's it, the only solution left. And he engaged in the worship of Al-Istighatha. Allah Azza wa Jal did not fail him. I think, and I am certain, one of the greatest things that we are in desperate need of right now in this day and age is Al-Istighatha. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal through His name Al-Hayy Al-Qayyum that He grant assistance and support to our brothers and sisters in Gaza and wherever they are oppressed.